This call is being recorded.
Yo, what's up?
Are you calling from your phone or are you calling from the app?
I'm calling from my phone. We just majorly life hacked, bro.
Yeah, man, but the quality's not the same, pal.
Quality is in the care and love and value that we bring to each and every call, not in the audio, man. Come on.
Yeah, but it sounds like AM radio. Like, what year is this?
It's this year of the iPhone and the Uber conference, man. It still sounds like this. That's all. No problem. No problem,
All right, man.
Mr. Professional Radio. Just
Whatever,
calm
dude.
down.
Like, look, I'm getting tired of your calls to action.
that was really a letdown to the announcement that we wanted to make to the title of this show.
That was my Michael Scott moment.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm putting Michael Scott and all right, I got it. I framed it up, and now it is funny, officially. So that's it.
Yeah,
you said it. Calls.
You don't know how to get it.
Calls to action.
Yeah.
Calls to action.
You know what? I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit for the name of the show. It's called Calls to Action. And
Thank you.
You came up with the name.
Yes. And that's that gives us a little bit of leeway, a little bit of room for why the sound quality is bad, because they're phone calls, man. Come on, calls to action, right?
Yes, sir. And then whenever we have guests, we can easily just have them call in, and it automatically records. We can lock the conference room. It's great, man.
Yes, it's like where are you going? You getting in your car? You're not in your studio? Don't worry about that. This is calls to action. Just call.
Your call's been recorded.
Exactly.
It's like having an assistant record our calls, and then it automatically sends it to us after the call's over. Awesome.
I love it. We just life hacked the whole podcast thing. That's what we did.
Yeah, man. Life hack is like the cool way of saying lazy, right?
Well, you had to be clever. I mean, all cool innovation comes from ultimately people being lazy, doesn't it?
Right. Like, you don't want to do all the hard work to get this amount of results, right? You want to be able to do the least amount of results and get.
Yeah.
Wait. Get the least amount of. Hold on. Can we do it again? Is this live?
All I'm saying is I don't wash my clothes with a washboard anymore, right? I have a washing machine, man. And so
I actually take it to the cleaners and they wash it.
See? You're twice as lazy as I am.
I 2x my laziness.
2x.
Actually, I think I 4x'd it. I 4x'd it, right? Because 1x is you doing it yourself.
Uh-huh.
And 2x is what you're doing it with a washboard. Right, so 1x is doing it with your hands. 2x is with the washboard. 3x is when you're... What?
Okay, 1x. That means nothing has changed. So you multiply something by 1, it's the same thing.
No, man. Well, all right, fine. Regular old washing your clothes by hand is regular 1x, right? And
That's
then
1x.
If you get a washboard, you 2x it because you could wash a lot more because you're not hurting your hands anymore, right? And then 3x is when you get a washing machine and you can wash it, right? Right? 4x is when you hire someone to come in your house and wash it for you.
Okay.
5x is where you just take it to a laundromat and they wash it for you.
If you have to go to the laundromat, though, I think number 4 and 5 might switch around.
Really?
Well, you have to drive to the laundromat.
Got it. So 6x is where I have someone pick up the laundry, get it washed, and bring it right back and put it away for me.
Put it away. That's the biggest thing, really, putting it away. Who likes to put it away? I can throw it in the washing machine. That's the problem. Putting it away, that's the real butt ache.
I have something in my chair is just full of clean clothes sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
I always have every intention of putting it away, but intentions mean nothing.
Ah,
Sometimes
said
I
you're
end up
wasting
throwing
all your
clean
time.
clothes. Sometimes I end up throwing clean clothes in the dirty laundry just so I don't have to freaking put it away.
If your wife listens to this podcast, you're done.
She's not listening to this. She's not listening to this podcast. She's not going to.
Oh man. So I believe on our last call, the prequel, episode 0, right? You were talking about how you did a prank phone call and to Fidel Castro, and it kind of kicked off your career.
Yeah.
You were
Yep.
mentioning.
So
Yeah.
prank calling Fidel Castro was the igniter for my whole digital marketing career. That's where I started making money. And I'm not talking about like big money. I'm talking about like cool money, like $2,000 extra a month. You know what I'm saying? So
So what was this? Was this were you working in radio at the time?
So even to this day, even after I've left radio is still way behind the times. Like they still think that radio is like it's like the bee's knees, the best thing since sliced bread. Like if you go to radio people and they actually still think the radio is still the best thing. Now radio does have a high impact, but if even now where radio is still freaking thinking that they're the best and they don't got their stuff together, back then was even worse. So I got not even a job. I volunteered. I said, hey man, let me make your website. And these two good friends of mine, they were the morning show jocks in Miami. And I said, dude, let me make your website. And, at least you guys have a website. And since they were a number one show and I was willing to do it for free, they said, okay, sure, why not? So I did it. And then these guys were infamous for always prank calling people. So one of the prank calls we did was we ended up prank calling Hugo Chavez, which was the president of Venezuela at the time. And obviously we recorded the call, and then we prank called him. Okay,
Yeah.
so then we grabbed all the audio bits from that call, and then we cut out his voice and created a soundboard. So hello, whatever, right? So we ended up calling the Cuban government, and the Cuban government we were Joe Ferrero. He always comes up with he has a bunch of voices he can make, and the Venezuelan accent is one of them. So he ends up calling the Cuban government, acting like he was the.
Hey, where you at?
Hey, can you hear me?
Lost you. Yes. What are you doing? You're trying to leave a call this time like you did last time, and I just don't appreciate it. I'm in the middle of a good story here about foreign governments. Good?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Can I finish?
Please continue.
Thank you. So, I lost my train of thought, man, but I'm just going to try to pick up.
Yeah.
Good thing this isn't a lie, right? Good thing it's not a lie. So,
well,
anyway.
if you drive around, you take the risk. And here on Calls to Action, this is raw. This is raw, uncut, and you get what you pay for. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, and there's a 30-day money back guarantee. Whatever you put into is what you're gonna get back out of it. All right. So, what I was gonna tell you was, he called the Cuban government, acting like he was lieutenant for the Venezuelan army, whatever, and in the background, the other guy, Enrique, he would press buttons during the call. So the Cuban government got to hear him in the background saying, hello, I'm Lieutenant Camille from the Venezuelan Army. I have right here President Hugo Chavez. We're calling because of a sensitive matter of a briefcase that we left there. Very, very sensitive material is in there, and we need to get to someone right away, and we're having trouble connecting with the president, Fidel Castro. So we went to that person answered the phone. He ended up transferring us up. And we kept on doing it over and over until finally we got to Fidel Castro. And
wow, man.
at that moment, they ended up transferring all of us. We ended up going to Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro was on the phone. We were like in shock. So, anyways, If you didn't get to hear the call on the radio because it was a morning show, you only got a short window of time to hear the call.
Right.
I said, let's go ahead and put it online, but instead of just putting the call online, let's have the people give us their email address, and we'll send them the link to hear the call. And they're like, sure, why not, whatever. I thought I invented the concept, which obviously I didn't. I went to a website called hotscripts.net, right? I think it was .net. And I downloaded an email email collector form, and that will automatically send an email through the POP3 server. So I captured email addresses. I ended up capturing over like 250,000 email addresses, and the radio station saw that as a big opportunity. They ended up monetizing these lists, and they ended up generating millions of dollars with this new strategy that I invented. And then I was the one responsible for helping to build the list and then send out emails. And then that started my whole career doing email marketing, digital marketing, and then I ended up doing it for like Coca-Cola, Universal, Disney, Norwegian Cruise Line, Carnival Cruise, all these companies through all these different stations, and then agencies. I worked with agencies, and that's how I learned a lot about their digital marketing realm. So that's how Fidel Castro was a big impact.
Launched your career.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fidel. I wouldn't say
why...
rest in peace. I'm glad you're dead, you son of a. Sorry, never mind. What?
You military folks, you just can't let anything go. Just hold a grudge forever.
Hold a grudge forever, man. I'm not even Cuban, man, but I grew up in Miami, and Fidel Castro has been like a thorn in every Miamian side.
Yeah. Well, if you say so, because I'm just a gringo from up north, and I don't know anything. What?
We got all political. Sorry, I didn't mean to get all political on your ass.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, and next time I want more about it. Then I could just bring it up again and just kind of touch on these sore points that you have as an ex-Marine, and see if I can just push the right button.
Yeah. Stop
what?
Right there, Christopher. I have to stop you right there. There's no.
I've already done it.
Ex-Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. All right, pal?
Yeah. As the words were coming out of my mouth, I saw the repercussions coming right back at me. I was like, this is not going to go down correctly.
This is a call to action. There's nothing to get a foot up you. You also told me that I can't say bad words on this thing, huh?
Well, we got to keep it clean for the kiddies. We got to keep it clean for the kiddies. Half the time when we have my kids in the car, I'm recording. I got earphones in, and they're gonna be like, they just can't be picking this up now this early.
So we're picking. All right. So I get it. So when you speak in code, that's my cue that the kids are in the car. But when you go nuts, that means you're good to go, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, because we're gonna get the clean seal of approval, podcast everywhere, available for everybody. So if you've got little 5-year-old marketing gurus running around your house, and you want them to get the inside tips, secrets, information, and funnels, that make all the monies, you could still feel free to do that without having to worry that they're going to pick up some extra vocabulary along the way. That's all I'm saying.
But they're going to pick it up anyways. Might as well be here on the calls to action show.
We just don't want the dirt on our hands. That's what I'm saying. We don't want it on our hands. We did not teach your genius 5-year-old kid how to say 5 new colorful words. It wasn't us. We're just here to help. Ma'am.
What I did to my kids the other day. I wrote down SOFA, 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 KING, right? We W pod and did. And boy, I had some serious fun having them read that out loud, and they had no idea what they were saying, and I'm cracking up. I think I'm the biggest kid out of all my kids, honestly.
Yeah. I think there's something to that statement.
Yeah, man.
I think there's definitely something to it. So, Fidel Castro launched your career. You did a call. You had people opt in. You invented the opt-in, basically, and and here we are today.
super lead
here we are today.
magnet. Like they wanted to hear it.
Yeah. So, is it time for my story? Do you have to go?
Is that for episode -2?
Episode. We got to open a loop. I forgot. We got to open a loop.
Yeah.
We got to get more downloads. Can't just give it all to you now.
That's right, man. I mean, whoever's still listening to this podcast after this entire thing, thank you, I guess, or I'm sorry to hear it. I don't know what else you'd be doing right now that you had no option of, but
shouldn't you be working?
I guess you're filling in the time. Okay. We are the filler show in between the actual show you want to listen to, right? Right?
That's what you were trying to pitch me, but I think that's really bad positioning. You know, like everyone else is better. We're bottom of the rung. You'll listen to us, I guess, if there's nothing else available.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
well,
that's exactly what we are. We're like that WordPress theme that just comes with the WordPress installation. That you only have it because you haven't changed it yet.
we're one of the 6 core funnels automatically loaded into your account.
That's right. Like, why would you even use this?
So, okay, all right. Well, you know, there's been a lot of positioning plays in history that have been similar, and you know, they called it what it is, and they put that out to the public. The public accepted it because they already had a number one player in their mind. Right now, I'm thinking of what am I thinking of? Hertz and Enterprise, right?
No, Avis.
Was it Avis? Avis?
We're number 2, so that's why we have to try harder, right? Is that what it is?
Yes, exactly. They knew they were number 2 in the customers' minds already. They're like, look, okay, we're not number 1, but hey, we could be number 2, and that just means we got to try a little bit harder. And that was able to stick in the minds of the customer, and at least make them number 2 if they weren't number 2 already, right? Because they probably weren't before they said that. But then they positioned themselves as number 2, and it all worked out. So we're just going 2 steps further than that. Okay, we're just going 2 steps further than that, and we're saying, look, we're the bottom of the barrel. We're like scraping the vat after everything's gone, and if you've got nothing else left in your life, then you still have us.
So that's why we're trying hard. We're trying to make your time that much better while you're waiting for whatever it is you're waiting for.
Exactly. Just if there's absolutely nothing else you could listen to online at all, there's not a YouTube video left, there is not a podcast left, a marketing podcast, an entertainment podcast, nothing, then we got your back.
It's kind of like Netflix, right? Netflix. Like when you watch Netflix, you watch because you can watch all of them in one day, in one sitting actually. And then what do you do until the next year? You got to fill it in with filler shows, right?
Yeah. So calls to action, the Filler Show marketing podcast. We're putting this together. It's all coming together as we go.
You guys are listening to us put it together as we're doing it. The ultimate podcast for filling up dead air while you're waiting for your real show.
Yeah, I like it. You know, it's got a ring to it. I think people can remember us in that position. You know. Why do you listen to?
Well, because I got nothing else to listen to. I might as well listen to these guys because hey, whatever.
Yeah. Good. Okay, we're on to something here, definitely.
I think
so. Next episode, stay tuned, or log back in, or download the next one. However this works. I'm so new to this, man. I don't even know. Get the next one where I reveal my story, my hero story, my hero journey, adventure, and reveal all of the secrets that brought me to where I am today with this number 0 podcast with you.
Is this a -1 or is this 1? Is this the first episode?
As far as I know, like we did a 0 and now this is 1. And so you tell your story on 1, I'll tell my story on number 2. Save the best for last, and yeah, we go from there. We take it from there.
You don't think I caught on to that one? You don't think I caught on to that one? You think you slick?
Well, in every scenario, there's got to be a leader and a follower. There's got to be a hero and a sidekick. So I just figured, let things lie naturally where they lie. We'll let the viewers decide. No, they can't. They can't see us. We'll let the listeners decide.
No, I don't want you to get embarrassed.
Well, okay, all right. We'll say it's for my protection, and we'll just assume what we've already assumed. I'll go next, and I'll tell my story. And if you want to hear you got it.
Anyone's listening.
Assuming it, yeah. If you're listening to this, and what do we want? Do we want them to comment on things? Can they go somewhere? Can they comment? It's going to be all over the place, right? I mean, we haven't put it out yet, but we're going to, and it's going to be all over the place, right? By the time you hear this on your favorite podcasting thing, you can go there and make comments and push us up the ranks, right?
I don't even know. Like, I listen to podcasts, and I never interact with any of the people. Okay, there's one guy, Chris Davis. He's the Active Campaign podcast guy, and I know him well too. He was working at Lead Pages just before I was there. So yeah. Yeah, I just reached out to him on Facebook because I'm a friend of his, and I said, "Hey man, your show is awesome." Da, da, da. That's the only time I've ever reached out to anyone from a podcast.
I think I made a comment on one podcast one time because on the podcast they kept saying how bad they wanted me to do it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna give them some love.
All right.
So maybe you're listening to us and you feel really bad about us now because we're in the number 0 position, like we said, and you just want to give us some love, and you just want to put a comment on it. You just tell us how much you hate the podcast. That'll be good. That'll probably get us something, right, Carlos?
Hey, it's like that's what Howard Stern. I thought he made it. People that didn't like his show listen because they wanted to hear what he was going to say next, and the people who liked his show listen because they wanted to hear what he was going to say next.
Yeah. For us, like, they probably don't care what we're gonna say. They're probably like, yeah, I just don't have anything else to listen to. That's the whole reason I'm listening. So I don't know if it'll work quite the same way. But, I see where you're going. Different angles. So that's it, man. Do you have an outro? Do you have an outro? You want to sing us out?
I got one. Calls to Action, the ultimate podcast. In case you want to fill in that dead air until you hear your other podcast, starring Christopher Gaudiriao, Carlos Vasquez. Good.
We should use that. We're just gonna cut that part out and start using it from here on out. That's the intro. You've done it.
I used the old Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon.
Oh, you did. I didn't notice. Dun 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 dun.
No, I don't even think they have that anymore. Oh, we're
gonna get a cease and desist letter now from Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Hang up. Good thing we're keeping it clean in case.
Hang up, Christopher.
All right. See you next time. Bye.